We are the Bicycle and Pedestrian Safety Committee. Could I get a motion to open the meeting?
Make a motion, we open the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Last month's minutes. Did everyone read them and approve them? He's not a member yet anyway.
No, right. You'll get added. I'll add
Sherry,
your email.
Sherry,
Oh, wait a minute.
his email, yeah. I don't
All in
know.
favor?
I'll get him to write it down for me.
Beautiful.
Okay, he doesn't have to approve it, but if he wants to look at it, he can. Okay, can,
I make a motion, we approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Second.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
This was the guy that was here last time.
Right.
Yeah.
He was sitting over here talking to us about.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other thing, the next thing is we talked about before too, is this spring Safe Routes to School event, or Bike Month event. I did hear back from Angela. We talked about doing just a walk around the back, fields or whatever. I guess they have a spot.
Angela's from the school.
Angela
correct?
from the school, yeah, she thinks that's a better idea too, because of safety. Right now, having them walk, bike ride in the road is not good. So she mentioned, that way the parents can have it before school starts, and that way the parents can also join if they want. And Colleen actually said that's one of the things that can be done. So we just have to figure out what day, and it might not be in May, who knows, but we'll see. I'm gonna have to get back to Angela. Oh, Anita. Angela and Colleen.
No, and Colleen is from where again? I'm sorry.
Safe Routes to School. No, yeah, she's Mass DOT Safe Routes
Yeah.
to School.
Yep.
She also mentioned that she does like I think she called it a safety, kind of a safety class that they go into the school and do for the kids, which I think is really needed, because the next thing we got on our agenda is parking lot, which
What's that about?
people have, there was something on Facebook too recently about it. People are complaining about, well, not complaining, and you have a right to say, the kids on e-bikes in the parking lot. Yeah.
When I heard a story, I was coming out of the parking lot on my e-bike, okay? I go through the parking lot, and I'm coming back to Main Street, and this young kid pulls up alongside of me on a smaller e-bike. He says to me, "You want to race?" He says, "I'm almost 80 years old, I don't race." He goes, "Come on, old man, we'll race."
Oh, boy.
Sticking it to you.
Yeah.
Well, I almost
You
got
need to be
T-boned
kidding me.
coming up Bardsley Street. One day last week, I was coming up Bardsley Street, and the kid came out of going across John Street. Wasn't gonna stop, so, but anyway,
Well, that's
so the park,
That's the problem with the kids, though. I mean,
yeah,
the
it's
parents
everywhere.
parents have no idea what's going on. you know.
No, and they're
In fact,
dangerous.
they're thinking of excluding them. I think they already have in one state from bike paths.
Well, that's what that post.
Yeah, well,
That's what we're
it's,
talking about.
it
Was about
depends on
excluding
what
them.
class it is.
Mhm.
If it can't go more than 20, I think. 20 is.
That's
the-
what mine does.
The
20,
next one
22.
up can go faster.
Yeah, well, this kid said his will do 32. 30.
Yeah, so that
That-
one shouldn't
that, you
be.
know,
in
That's
it.
like a motorcycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They don't wear
They don't
helmets.
pedal.
They got no helmets
Hey.
on.
You know what? They fall, they hit their heads, they're done.
Yeah, I know.
They're done for.
Sandy sent me a good article by Wired magazine, I think, called "Don't Buy Your Kids an E-Bike," and it's all about how dangerous they are if you crash. And I know,
They're very dangerous.
because you're going at least 20 miles an hour, and that's not good. So,
I've seen them on a Bristol bike path,
yeah,
and the big e-bikes. These guys, 3 guys were riding these big e-bikes on
yeah,
a
with
Bristol
the fat
bike path.
tires.
Cars, I mean, people are going by
Yeah.
left and right.
Wait, it's
And
already-
these things are 200 pounds.
It's all right to ride on the bike path, but you gotta use your head,
Yeah.
and that's what the kids don't do.
Well, they don't.
You know
They
what
don't,
I mean?
and the parents don't either. They're in front of them and they stop in the middle of the bike path for no reason.
I don't
So-
I don't even go down there anymore.
The article, not article, the post, a guy named, he's actually the park commissioner, his name is Chad Leclerc. And he commented on that, saying that he's already in the works of trying to ban bikes from a certain part of the park and different things. So I asked him to come to our meeting, but he couldn't, because he said his father's in the hospital or something. So he did say, I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Anyway. So I think, it's a good idea what he said, but we also had talked about talking with, the DPW and the people that were here last week, Mass DOT, is that? About just maybe painting, remember we said we
Well, that's
wanted
what we had
painting?
talked
Yeah.
about, right?
So that
Painting
he-
lines.
Yeah.
So if that's what I told him we were already talking about, trying to, help make the park easier to maneuver or safer or whatever. So that was interesting that he's already trying to do something too, as far as the bike, so, we're gonna have to talk to Mass DOT people who was,
How about DPW
yeah, him too, DPW and,
painting the lines in there?
yeah, but I think it's DOT, that guy that was here last week, her name is Lizette.
Mass DOT.
Yeah. They might be able to help us, say, oh, this is how you should paint it, I don't know, unless we just paint like whatever the road, whatever it is now, just repaint it.
Right, I mean, I think
Yeah.
the first thing I would think is that we go to our DPW and say,
Right.
can you repaint the lines?
Mm,
And if they say no, then we go to Mass DOT and say, we want support in getting the lines, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like in steps,
And I mean,
right?
That's right.
any kind of updates to the park is something that they want, remember they asked us what we'd like to see down the road for master plan, so any kind of other
Yeah.
upgrades would be under that, but just painting the lines and maybe
The town,
parking lot, I don't know, that's the town, yeah.
I would think it would be the town, so if they, I mean,
Mhm.
that,
It's
in
a
my
start.
mind, in my limited exposure, that seems like a fairly simple request.
Yeah, and I'm
I don't
thinking
know.
maybe,
Trouble is dollars and cents.
I know, but they still have to maintain, right? And there is a budget for maintaining properties, so, so you ride your bike through there, I run through there. When I run through there, I have no idea where I should be. I just sort of go around
Find it.
cars,
Find
right?
it.
Right, so I think that
You mean putting in parking lot lines?
lines
Yeah.
and maybe
That's
mapping
what-
out
yeah,
like
'cause
where
if
the
that-
actual road is through
Right.
there. Because there is, like, the road goes through,
Yeah, it
right?
goes around, yeah.
But nothing's there, people just pull in and park
Right.
and,
It should be the DPW should be painting
I would
it.
think so.
That's their job,
well,
doing that.
let's talk to them.
Who wants to do that?
I'm gonna talk to them, they know me.
Okay. And see what they say, and
Yeah.
if that's not something that they can do, then what do we need to do?
Especially where the season's coming up.
Yeah, well, there's baseball,
You
so,
know, they're already
Right.
starting to play, kids are starting to play
Yeah.
baseball.
so Chad, the commissioner, said his plans, based on what he's allowed to do, is put signs at all entrances, have bike stands at the main entrance, and advise parents that they are not allowed to ride them in the park.
That's gonna be tough to enforce.
Yeah, that's what I thought, who's gonna enforce it, but, it's something.
Yeah, and I made a comment last time we were here about riding on the sidewalks was safer, but what I failed to remember was, I always rode mountain bikes. Road bikes to me were
Yeah.
extremely dangerous. In fact, I had a good friend get killed on one, and when I lived in Florida, and a possum, or a raccoon and possum come out to the road, went into the front spoke, she went over the handlebars,
What the?
and she had a helmet on, but it killed her.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, road bikes you can't ride on the sidewalk, really. You know, and in Florida, the problem was you get 15 or 20 of them, and they take up the lane, and, you know, the cars are getting impatient, you know, trying to pass, and it makes for a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't see that here.
No,
In fact,
not in Acushnet.
I very seldom see, once in a while, I work part-time in Lakeville, I clean offices out there on weekend, and I see, once in a while, I'll see a road bike, and a guy going 90 miles an hour, you know, or trying to.
Lakeville is dangerous, you know, they don't have those signs up there, the 4 feet signs.
No, I know they
They don't have those,
But the roads are a lot wider.
they're wider, well, it's still dangerous
Oh,
out
yeah.
there. Still dangerous.
Anytime you're riding in the street, I don't care if you're on a road bike or any kind of bike, it's
Mhm.
dangerous.
So you gotta have mirrors on your bike,
Oh, yeah,
so you
definitely.
gotta know what's behind you. So when they do hit you, if you survive, you remember.
Speaking of that, I found a bike shop that I never knew even existed in Fairhaven. It's right on Route 6. In fact, I bought a tire for my electric bike, and the kid, I paid, he was a young guy that runs the place, and it cost me $50 for the tire and 25 to put it on, which wasn't bad, because the SDU wanted 160.
Do you know the name of it?
There is, actually, the kids said they're waiting for a sign. They got one here in Fairhaven, they got one in Falmouth, and one in Hyannis.
Oh, wow.
I think that's what it's called, Cape Bikes or what, or something like that. But have you ever gone down Route 6 and you see the sign that says shark, diving for
Oh,
shark
yeah,
cages?
yeah,
It's right across the
it's
street.
right across the street, yeah.
And you go in there, and it's a young guy that runs the place, and he's fantastic. Nice kid.
Nice kid, yeah. Good.
And he put the tire on while I waited.
Beautiful.
I drove the bike there, he put a new tire on.
Wow, drove it.
Yeah. But anyway, I never even knew the place was there.
Yeah, we don't have too many bike shops.
No.
But he had some electric bikes in there for $5,000-$6,000.
Oh, yeah, big box, man.
I mean, you can spend a lot of money. It's like anything else.
Road bikes are crazy now.
Well, so Pope Park, Eric's gonna talk to the DPW.
I'll go to DPW.
All right.
New
And
business?
that's it. Anybody have any new business?
Do you want to share Sandra's?
Yeah. Sandra shared that, yes, May is Bike Month. On May 4th, which is interesting, there's gonna be a group that's gonna ride the train to Boston with their bikes.
Oh, she had mentioned that last
And,
time.
yeah, and then there's people that, I'm not sure where they're from in Boston, but they're gonna meet and take people where you should ride, like where the bike paths and bike lanes and all that. You're not just gonna go there.
That would be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
And
There's some
dangerous.
I just saw something about Cambridge yesterday. There's some really nice bike
Bike
paths,
paths,
bike
yeah.
lanes, I mean, not paths, bike lanes over there, yeah.
Bike lanes.
A lot
Yeah.
of places,
Well,
are-
when you get into the
They're
bigger
going in.
cities, like, they want,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want less cars.
a lot of
different.
places are finally doing
But it's
something,
nice to
but there
ride.
still isn't enough riders.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, in the city it's different.
Yeah, you get more and more in the city, but,
In the big cities, yeah, because it's easier to get around.
right.
Another thing is on Tuesday, May 13th, is South Coast Bikeway is their annual summit meeting, which is kind of cool. I went to that. I don't know if they had it last year.
What is it again? I'm sorry.
It's the summit. It's their summit meeting. They
Who?
have guest speaker. I'm not sure who that is. It's South Coast Bikeway.
Thank you.
Sandy's group.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who the speaker is.
Where's that located?
And it's gonna be at, where did I see it? Oh, down the south end, I think it's at the,
At Fort Tabor?
that building there. What's-
Kennedy Center.
Better look
When
it
you're
up.
going for Table, on the right?
Yeah, the UMass Dartmouth, maybe?
Oh, UMass, Dartmouth.
Let me ask her where it is. But, where is the? I just saw that yesterday.
Did you have a date?
I'm gonna look for it.
Okay.
Summit is May 13th.
Mhm.
Pretty good, Sherry, on that computer.
I know.
Good for you, honey. Glad
That's
we
where I
got you.
started. I started in school on a real typewriter.
Yeah, back in those
It's
days.
the only subject I ever got straight A's in.
Typing?
Guys, I type up the meetings, the minutes for the other meeting,
Oh,
and I
good.
got an old manual, portable manual.
Yep.
That's tough.
I have two of them. I have two manual typewriters.
Can't find it.
No, it's.
I got a Smith and Wesson, but I can't find
There you go.
No, that's an old.
Smith Corona,
Mhm.
but I can't
Okay.
find a damn
I'll put the,
ink, ribbon for
Hey,
it.
well, we won't have another meeting.
Nobody sells
before.
them anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe you
It's a
can
thing of
text
the
her, and
past.
she can
Yeah,
tell you.
Yeah, I just
exactly.
asked her, but-
That's the way it is. Everybody has computers now.
Oh, here we go, May 13th.
Yeah, but if you can't afford a printer, I mean, they ain't cheap, you know.
Keynote
Yeah.
speaker is Trish Carter with a K. And it's at the UMass Dartmouth School for Marine Science and Technology. From 5:30 to 7:30 on a Tuesday.
5:30 to 7, you said?
7:30.
Okay.
Wow. The girl is the speaker. She's the uphill racer and record holder for Mount Washington Hill climb in her
Oh.
age group, an advisor to nonprofit advocacy groups.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? Eric?
No, I got nothing.
I think that was all we had to cover right now.
Okay. So our next meeting is May 15th, and I have it here in the selectmen's meeting room.
I gotta look that up because, remember I had to reschedule, we were supposed to meet May 8th, I think, originally.
And we changed it
But
here.
that's the same day as the meeting, that they want us to attend for.
Right.
Master plan.
Yes,
So-
so the
It's the
meeting
15th.
location to be determined.
And I think, I can look it up too, actually, it might even be on.
That's Sandra.
That's you.
I can, that was me?
Oh, shoot.
That was
Send me a
Sandra
text or
responding.
something.
It was Sandra responding to what
Oh.
it was. Do we want to schedule any other meetings or just the May
Yeah, please
meeting?
leave me
Do we want to
alone.
do like,
Yeah. We could do
Sometimes I
one
think
more.
that they're
Yeah.
a pain in the ass.
They are, man, they are.
We're gonna schedule some meetings ahead.
I think we were talking the other
Summer.
I
day,
mean, that,
when we were
Yeah.
kids,
that increases the
live
likelihood
with
of people coming, because by the
behind
time
the
we put the
post
minutes
office.
out, it's already too late.
that White House behind the post office, that's where I grew up.
Oh,
And
All
the
right,
post
so-
office wasn't there, that was woods.
Oh, yeah,
at one
geez.
time.
yeah.
Nothing different.
Anyway,
Wait for it.
when we were kids, we'd get out of school and be on our bicycles. My father used to tell me, don't come home till the street lights
So if we
come
go
on."
back
So
to the
that's what they
second
used to
of
say.
the 12th,
You can
Go
go
out,
anywhere you want.
any way you want it, don't come home to streetlights. When
Yeah.
streetlights are on, you come home.
That's it.
gentlemen,
Okay.
we're looking at dates.
Yeah, for.
Dates,
next meeting.
dates.
So we already have May, we have May 15th, but we're thinking that we should probably do 3 or 4 months out, because that will increase, if people know ahead of time, they might
Especially
come.
summer, yeah.
Right, right.
So we're looking at either June 12th or June 19th.
Okay.
Either work.
June 19th is June 19th. That's a holiday.
That is a
Juneteenth,
holiday.
yeah.
Juneteenth,
Yeah, Juneteenth. Okay,
12th?
the 12th,
12th, yeah, that sounds good.
same thing, 6.
Okay,
June 12th.
And then, oops, all right. Do one more, July, or do we skip July because it's July? Like some of the groups that I'm on, we don't meet
We don't
more
for
than
the
2
summer.
months for the
Yeah.
summer.
for the summer.
No meeting in July.
Do we want to do that for July or for August? Or
Maybe
resume,
July?
skip July and do August, or?
Yeah, let's skip July,
Okay.
Yeah,
and just 1 month.
Okay, so then August
14.
14th.
Eric,
Yes,
how's your calendar on, what was it, August 14th?
okay, August 14th. That's good.
Yeah, we're all good, okay, I put them in.
And next, wanna go September 2?
You want to
Let's go.
do
Try it.
September?
11th, that's on the 11th.
Let's go. I won't be here the third week.
The 11th work?
11th I'll be here.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's 5 months worth of
Yeah, that's.
dates, so,
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
All right,
And Rick is gonna become a member, right, Rick?
Yeah, I'll
He's-
go up there probably next week.
Okay, he's gonna go talk.
yeah, I
to
put
him.
on here pending board
I'll,
members.
I'll find out what the story is.
But we still do need one more.
Well, you eventually need 2 more.
Yeah,
because
I know.
You only have
I
a
know,
short
we
term.
can- I think we can only say one right now because it's 5.
Until I step
Yeah.
down, right. But
Yeah, so we
once
do
you
need
start-
one.
You're not going anywhere.
Not yet, but I'm
We
managing.
need you.
I'm managing, I have
We need
a
somebody extra
rather
type.
involved job, so this sometimes, like you'll see me with my phones and all this other drama.
Yeah.
So once there's a full committee, I'm gonna step away. But when we get to 4,
Me too.
you too.
Yeah, I got things to do, you know what I mean? At nighttime.
Yeah,
You know,
Hey, come on.
I know,
I
right?
did this for Sandra.
Well, that's all right, so
You know?
we'll commit, you know, we've been at it for a little bit, we're all right, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
So, meeting,
Short
motion
meeting,
to
yeah, 20 minutes.
adjourn?
Yeah.
Adjourn?
So we're all
Adjourn?
set.
I mean,
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Okay,
motion.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.